Hey guys, Freddie B here on Wednesday, November 4th. I'll tell you, my enthusiasm is waning a bit, I can assure you. At this point, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the street, and guess what? We still don't have any idea. Many states are in play. But I'm going to tell you who's going to win the election. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be Joe Biden, because the GOP's got to jump through too many hoops in order for it to come out on the correct side. But, you know, as I can say, is c'est la vie. You know one thing that won't happen? You won't see riots in New York. You won't see riots in Chicago, Milwaukee, Portland, Washington, LA, Seattle, or whatever, because our team lost. We just don't do that. We go about our day. You know what? My tombstone will say coulda, woulda, shoulda on it. The GOP on this election cycle might be able to say coulda, woulda, shoulda. I gotta say that in the last 2 weeks, I never saw the enthusiasm for the GOP as high as I have in years. President Trump did a great job. He's still president till January, and he'll still continue to do a great job if he loses this election. Okay? He was stupid to say he's going to throw it into the courts, okay, because that's the Democrats' line, but we will see what we're going to see, and we'll see what happens. So sit back, relax, get some gumballs, rot your teeth out, and watch television. Watch the mainstream media, I'll tell you. This election wasn't about Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. This election was about anything you could put a D in front of and Donald Trump. Because you could have run a brick and he would have gotten it. Because of an irrational hate for a man who's been accused of every type of phobia, xenophobia, homophobia, being a racist, and he's not a single one of those things, but he's been labeled that by the far left and also by the media, and the media's been a cheerleader for the left. I've never seen two entities work in concert. It used to be that the media, the mainstream media, was a reporter of the day's events. Now they become this facilitator and news-making entity themselves. I guess it's true that if it bleeds, it leads, and that's what they're trying to do. So they have become, with the left, this facilitator. And let's face it, the U.S. under a Biden-Harris administration, I'll get to that in a minute, is definitely going to be newsworthy, because you're going to see things change. Unfortunately, prediction one, gasoline will be back up to $4 a gallon within a year. It's kind of a shame. Your taxes probably won't get raised because they will be stopped by the Senate, but there will be put all those government regulations that the Trump administration did to try to get you more freedom are going to go back in line, and it's really going to be a shame. Okay? You know, I look at this partisan shift. I look at this media shift, and I almost go back to the Robert Bork hearings back in the 80s. And that's when Ted Kennedy, you know, the drunk from Massachusetts, the senior drunk senator from Massachusetts that killed a young lady by letting her drown in his car because he doesn't know how to drive over a bridge. That guy, the blackout drunk that everybody puts up on a pedestal, that guy borked Robert Bork to the point where it's now an adjective or a verb. He got borked. They did it to Kavanaugh. They tried to do it to Amy Coney Barrett. They tried Clarence Thomas, which was one of the funniest things was Saturday Night Live when Chris Farley was the South Carolina senator and wanted to know if he preferred hardcore porn or softcore porn. I will say that was some pretty funny comedy back then. But nonetheless, Ted Kennedy, great American, not. I don't think so. And I don't think the Kopechne's think so either. So, here's the deal. Biden will win. Democrats, the media, they will have participated in one of the greatest frauds ever foisted on the country. I will say that Florida came on. Florida did their job. We're really happy. I consider Virginia part of my home too. Really sad with that state. That state's destroyed, you know. So I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for my country, where people said they were embarrassed for their country to have President Trump as president because he would start wars, he would be terrible at foreign policy, he would be terrible at this. None of that came to fruition, by the way. Okay, we've had renewed a great friendship with Israel, created ties between Israel and other Arab countries which is a first for a president. So his foreign policy isn't so bad. We've got jobs coming back to the United States. We have factories being built here in the U.S. By the way, they'll go away as soon as they raise corporate taxes, and as soon as they do that, those factories will turn themselves right back around, and they will go back to Canada, Mexico, China, where they belong. And they'll use the guise of environmentalism to do that, to take people out of their really good jobs, their good paying jobs, whether they be union jobs or no union jobs, and put them at jobs at $15 an hour. Unfortunately, Amendment 2 here in Florida passed, which means that our state minimum wage will go up to $15 an hour in the next 5 years, which will throw, and again, prediction 2, you'll see small business not thrive anymore. Small businesses will go by the wayside. It really will be a shame. You'll see more unemployment, especially among Hispanics, African Americans, blacks, whoever you want, any minority. You'll see that. And you'll see a rise in poverty because the government wants more people on the dole. It's really sad. But this is what you're voting for, those of you that voted for Biden. Okay? What you also voted for was Kamala Harris to become the first female president of the United States. Because William Henry Harrison lasted only 31 days in office, and I dare say Joe Biden won't make it that long before either Nancy Pelosi throws a 25th Amendment up there, or they realize that they basically elected a doddering old fool. Last night he couldn't even introduce his granddaughter. He called her Beau, his son, who's dead. And then mentioned that Beau was the senator from Delaware, where he's not. He was an attorney general. So, and then you get Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, the most left-wing senator in the Senate, will be the most left-wing. She will make Barack Obama look like a founding father. But she will have been a pioneer. You think about Barack Obama as the first black president and Kamala Harris as the first female president, and you could not have come up with two worse examples in our entire United States of who you would like to be the first person there. I can give you a slew of people that would be a better president who were African American than Barack Obama. One would be Allen West. One would be Colin Powell. There's different parties, okay? There would be, who was the guy that died from, and now I sound like Joe Biden. Herman Cain would have been a better president than Barack Obama. And then you can look at people like Condoleezza Rice. You can look at people in the female community, white or black. There would have been a huge number of people that would have been. Here's the thing about Kamala Harris. Think about this, guys, ladies, listeners. She couldn't even make it to the Iowa caucus. She couldn't make it to the room where you stand in a corner, go on with her. She couldn't even get that. She couldn't garner enough support to make it to the very first vote on who you would like to see. And then she gets plucked by the far, far left and plucked into this campaign with Biden, and they full well knew that Biden was a doddering old fool and that he was not going to make it. And if he is elected president, mark my words, prediction 3, he won't make it 3 months, and then we'll have Kamala Harris as our president. You know, I feel very, 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 very sorry for our country. And I don't know I still can't figure out what the end game is. Maybe I'm just naive, but power for power's sake, it can't be any fun. You know, riches for riches' sake, you know, I'll take the money. Be happy to. Maybe I can buy happiness, but I just don't understand it. Anywho, it's Wednesday. It is November 4th. It's 2020. That's what I've got to say. I'll look forward to seeing you again. I'm probably going to take this to YouTube, so look for me, Freddie B, on YouTube very soon. Bye-bye.